Yo, this is Prodi Lemaj, and we doing this for the culture.
Fear in my simple ways will lead me deep in the grave. The devil is in the way, he never discriminates. Every creed, every color, he seeks to eviscerate. Many a break.
So, Prodi Lemaj, how you doing?
Yeah, blessed man, blessed and highly favored. I can't complain.
I see. So let's start off, man. Where you from?
Anderson, South Carolina, born and raised.
Anderson, South Carolina. How was it like growing up in Anderson? I remember when I first met you, it was at some apartments or something. I remember y'all made sure to put it in the video.
Yeah, on the Hunt, Continental Street.
The Hunt. Okay. What's up with the Hunt? What's up? How was it like growing up there?
Man, it was chill, man. It was not too crazy, It'd be some crazy shit every now and then, but nothing too wild for the most part. It's pretty chill, man. It's where I met my boy Scud, actually.
Okay,
because he was staying out there too, so that's how we met each other. Started rapping together and whatnot.
All right, so I'm gonna get back to that. So how did you come up with your name, Prodi Lemaj?
Prodi Lemaj. Well, my first rap name was J Hunt, the Prodigy. So cause my real name is Jamel Hunter, so it was like J Hunt and then the Prodigy or whatever. And then eventually I decided, I kind of wanted to change it, and I had started calling myself Prodi for short. I just be on zones and I just say Prodi for short or whatever. So that kind of stuck. One day my boy DZ told me one day, bro, why don't you just go by like Prodi or whatever. So I was like, cool. I was like, yeah, I could go by Prodi. But I guess I wanted to add something to it because the way my mind be working, I'm like, I want to make sure if people search for my name, it's me that pop up, So nobody else that maybe wanted to name themselves Prodi. So the Lemaj came. It's just my name backwards, Jamel.
Okay, I never knew that.
Yeah. And my boy Peasy, he's actually the one that suggested that. So yeah, because I always knew that was what my name spelled backwards was, but I didn't. I never thought to really incorporate it that way. But I was just like, okay, Prodi Lemaj, that works. So that's just what I went with.
That's why I always have to ask where someone gets their name from, because it's always a cool backstory, and that's probably one of the hardest one I heard is the last part is your name spelled backwards. That's completely I would have never expected that. That caught me off guard just now. So how long have you been in the music, in the music scene, or at least seriously?
Seriously, well, really, when it comes to, I guess, seriously for me, I tend to frame that from when we started releasing music on the DSPs, on Apple Music and Spotify and whatnot. So that would have been late 2018. That's when me and Scud dropped our, first EP together. Little did you know, but I've been making music since middle school. I know 7th grade, I'd ask my mom to get me this recording software. It was called Acid Music Studio.
Okay, I remember Acid.
Yeah, I had her I just seen it in Best Buy, so I just asked her could she get it for me for Christmas. So she did that, and it's a little shitty. I had her give me a little shitty desktop mic, and I'd record songs on the shitty desktop mic and whatnot. They sounded horrible, and the raps were pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it's just I really had a passion for music growing up. So I was just trying to I thought Kanye, T.I., Wayne. That's who I was listening to. I just thought that shit was so cool. So I just wanted to do it myself, and then. So yeah, man, I just stuck with it, and over the years I've gotten a lot better at it. I really tried to study the rappers I look up to, their flow and whatnot, their bars, their syllables, and tried to emulate that.
Yeah, because I remember when I first met you, I saw you had a homemade studio set up in your room, and I was I wonder if he been doing this since back middle school, high school, or if you were just trying to start recording yourself. Period. So now we know you started off in middle school recording yourself.
Yeah, 2009. That's when I started recording myself.
So did you release anything like with your own like recording?
Yeah, absolutely. We did it all the time in middle school, man. I just throw songs up on like I used to like Hulkshare. We used to like send out Hulkshare links, but then we started using SoundCloud and like YouTube.
Okay.
We just upload to like YouTube and SoundCloud and whatnot. And nowadays, I do most of my recording about time. Like I was never a good engineer. And it's not what I really wanted to do anyway. I just wanted to make songs. I didn't want to worry about having to mix them. So.
And your engineer is mainly Altoon, right?
Yeah, Altoon.
Yeah. And how did that relationship start?
It started with my boy Peasy, my boy Skrill Peasy. He had a session with Altoon. This was back at the end of like 2016.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess he must have just heard through word of mouth about Altoon or something. But so I just went to that session with Peasy or whatever, and then I was like, okay, like I like the quality, I like the quality. His quality is really on point. He's a pretty cool dude. So then around May of 2017, that's when me and Scud, we did our first session with Tune. And ever since then, we just kind of been going to Tune, man. We just built up a good rapport with him. Like he really understands us as artists, like our voices, how to mix, it's just like, it's a real synergy with Tune, and like he's great at what he does, so.
Yeah, I know
he's been rocking with him for the past few years.
I know he's really hard to like lock in because he's like that go-to person. I think 2016 is like around the time when like Scully and all of them really started to take off, and like everybody started to catch on. Like, Altoon recording, Scully and a bunch of other artists, Malio and all kind of people. So it's like, I guess you got in right at that time. So it's like once you lock in with Altoon, man, you gotta stay locked in with him. So let's go back. So like you and Scud Taylor, so when did y'all end up meeting up?
Like I said, I knew him in middle school, like around, I want to say 7th or at least 8th grade. At least 8th grade, I knew him. Like I see him in the hallways in passing, but like we didn't really talk like that.
Yeah.
But then around 10th grade, well not 10th grade, damn it, around 2010 when I like freshman year of high school, he just lived out in the Hunt too, so I was just outside, and then I seen him outside. He just started talking to us, and you see, me and my boy Skrill Peasy, we had been rapping together at that point. We had a little group called Blackout back in the day. So it's me, Jay Hunt the Prodigy, and my boy Skrill P. He was P Money back then. It was Jay Hunt the Prodigy and P Money, and so like Drake, a lot of people at school, whatever, they'd listen to our little songs or whatnot. I'd be rapping out at like OR, which was like our recess, I guess, in middle school. But so Dre, he'd be listening to our music. He actually did like his own version of one of our songs or whatever. So he just fucked with our shit. Dre had just kind of told me like, I fuck with our shit, I fuck with our music, what we doing. So I remember, so we just went in my crib one time. We pulled up like J. Cole's Who Dat beat. And, we just like spit like a freestyle over like Who Dat or whatever. So I was just like, hey bro, like, his bars is, I thought his bars was, pretty tight. So I just kind of went to Peasy, like told him like, hey, let's do a song with Dre. So then me, Dre, and P, we recorded a song over Traded Truth's Incredible Beat.
Okay.
We had just recorded a freestyle over that. And then from then on, we just kind of let Dre into the group. We let Dre into Blackout, so then it just became a trio, and that's the name we operated under for a few years while we were like in high school. We were Blackout.
So when was Scud Life born?
Scud Life. Well, that was a lot more recent. Like I think we really started branding as Scud Life around like 2018.
Okay.
Around like 2018 is when we really started like branding under that.
Because I remember just I remember I've always kind of like seen y'all videos and like a lot of it was like turned up. Like I remember it just always been some random off the wall stuff. Like I remember seeing y'all like turned up in a barn. And then I want to say that this Scud Taylor ride like a tractor or something.
That was Peasy.
Oh, that was Peasy.
Yeah, that was Skrill Peasy.
So Skrill Peasy rode the tractor.
In the Kick Rocks video, yeah.
Okay, Kick Rocks, he rode the tractor. Yeah. So it was just like always been some off the wall stuff. Has how y'all always started off was like with Turned Up, or
Yeah, man, yeah, I'd definitely say so. Like we always turned up, like we was always, rapping over the trap beats and stuff like that. But like I said, like like we always talk about to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, like we like to experiment with different styles and stuff, man. So like you'll hear us over some real turnt shit, just real turnt aggressive shit, where we're just like just spitting like these ridiculous ass bars and just going hard with it. But then like also I like to sometimes get a little more introspective with it, and just spit some real shit, some real substance and whatnot. And I definitely like to experiment with different styles, because like I know me myself, I listen to different kinds of music. I mainly listen to rap, but like I also listen to pop, I listen to R&B, I listen to a little bit of rock, some country, not too much country, but select songs, so but I've always just like different music. I'm just a fan of music in general, so some of those influences creep out into my own music. I like to experiment, with different genres and different styles and stuff, try to just keep it fresh, not just do the same thing over and over again.
Okay. So, have y'all ended up doing like a lot of shows or anything, or have y'all done some shows, or Under the Skull Life, or even solo, or has that came out yet?
Yeah, well, I'll say like ever since COVID hit, we had definitely like slowed down on the shows, but that's definitely something we're trying to.
I remember the first show I saw you at was it was in Spartanburg.
At Ground Zero.
No, it wasn't Ground Zero. It was the other thing. It was in the backyard. They had like a stage set up.
That was just me, like with me and Yami.
That was just you, right?
Me and Yami had performed Changes.
You and Yami, yeah. So how did you end up meeting Midnight and Yami? Yeah.
Well,
was Changes the first time?
Like what? Like we met?
Y'all met, or like
Nah. I had been met I had met Midnight and Yami before Changes. Like what it was he had before he was even Yami, like he had I know he had became like tapped into our music somehow. Like I'd like see him like leaving comments on like the Kick Rocks video.
Okay, back in Mr. Davis.
Yeah, back when he was Mr. Davis. So like I'd just see like Sean Davis, like he'd be showing love to our shit and whatnot. I didn't know him like that, but I was always like always appreciating anyone that showed love to our shit. I think Scud was a little more familiar with his music than I was, but I heard a couple songs he did as Mr. Davis, like a joint he did with Trip a few years ago. Trip, sorry.
Yeah.
And but then I eventually I started becoming more tapped into him, because he started having a little wave behind him, right? Locally he changed his name, to Midnight and Yami, and I watched he did music video with one of the first music videos that stuck out to me was he did it with the I can't think of bro's name, the bro with like the rainbow hair type shit going on.
You talking about Slime? Was it Slime Dollars? Or?
Nah, it wasn't Slime Dollars. It's like I think it's like a white dude, like a mixed dude. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, white dude. Let's see.
My brain is just not working right now.
See, I know he did Slime Dollars. He did Keep My Secrets.
Yeah, Keep My Secrets. That was the guy in the video you did with Keep My Secrets. And I was like, okay, this shit lit. You feel me? So I think we just started talking on social media, because like we both appreciated what each other was doing. And whatnot. And like I'd seen like the Painkillers music video. I'm like, yeah, this shit tight.
Yeah, cause you were at I remember you was at, weren't you at one of the Toolies videos?
Yeah. That was like the first in-person connection I had really made with Yami, because he invited us out to the Toolies video shoot. So we came out there, and I think that's the first time I met you. Also. So it's just lit, man. I just like his energy. He's just real lit. He don't give a fuck. He do the punk rock shit. He do the folk shit. He just do what he want to do. He just march to the beat of his own drums. So I just definitely rock with that. I rock with Buzz music. So I know me like. And I know me, like, I've always been into like rock music, like punk rock, punk pop type shit too. So that's definitely something I wanted to experiment with, which is, and so why when I we knew we wanted to do a song with each other, but I just had to find the right song.
The right song, yeah.
So then, like, which ended up being Changes, because I was specifically looking for a song, when I went beat searching, I was specifically looking for something I could see me and Yami being like together on.
Being on together, yeah.
And then I found that beat. And what's the crazy thing about Changes is like the chorus of the song, like I've been going through some things, there is trouble that I see. Like I wrote that shit like dead ass like 4 or 5 years ago. Like I wrote the chorus to a completely different beat, like a completely different song. It was more of like a straight up rap song, but it still had that sing-songy chorus. And I never released it. Like I never really like recorded it for real or released it, but I just always had that chorus like just in my notepad or whatever. And I always wanted to use it. So then when I found the beat for Changes, it just clicked. Like that chorus just went with the beat perfectly. And then, you know, like even back when I first wrote that chorus, like I said, I wrote it for a rap song, but I could always hear that chorus like being over like an acoustic, like guitar, rock type shit. And Changes is an acoustic, you know, it's very like electric guitars on there, but like still it's like fits with that rock vibe or whatever. So then I wrote a new verse for that beat, then just got Yami on it, and he killed that shit.
Oh yeah. So, I definitely killed that together. I remember first hearing Changes. Actually, I remember the guy at the studio, we didn't even record it. The video was shot at the other studio, and the guy was like, he was very impressed with the recording and the song and everything. I remember he was commenting about it. So
yeah, that dude, and like. Yeah, he was like probably like 40-something year old, like white guy, and he's just like, yo, like this is amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
he was really going in about it.
And, you know, I'm just like, hey, you know, I know he probably grew up listening to like, you know, fucking, I don't know, like what Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, you know, type shit, AC/DC or whatever, Metallica type shit. So, you know, and that was the first song I'd really recorded, kind of experimenting with the whole like punk, pop, you know, rock type shit. So, you know, for just like a, you know, 40, like middle-aged white guy to be like, yo, this shit's amazing. I was like, you know, a guy who grew up listening to like that kind of music, like the new, I was like, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
You know?
So it it's even funny because you said like you held on to that chorus for 4 or 5 years, but you did that also with Breathe, right?
Yeah, Breathe is a couple years old.
Years old, because you said you were 25.
Yeah, I said.
But you was really 26. I'm gonna let you explain.
Yeah, I said.
It.
On the song, I mean, the first line is blinked and now I'm 25. So I was just 23. The age when no one likes you and you feel the world's your enemy, which is kind of a Blink 182 reference right there. You know, no one ever likes you when you're 23. But yeah, I was 24 when I wrote the song. Then I was 25 when I actually got around to recording it. And now I, you know, just recently released it, and now I'm 26.
26.
So I say I'm 25 on the song, but I'm like 26 now. So, you know, that's just the consequences of, you know, hoarding music.
And I'm sure your catalog, like, you got a pretty big catalog of music you haven't released? Or?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes. It's honestly gotten ridiculous at this point.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous. Like, because I put out music, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just like, I try to find the right time to like drop certain songs, you know. Then it's like, if I got a project, for example, the project that I have out right now, Breathe, you know, it's a little more of an introspective project, you know. I'm kind of rapping about like life and anxieties and growing up and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not really the type of record, you know, like that I'd put a kick rock song, you know. It's not the type of EP, you know, I'm gonna be like, tell a whole kick rock. So I'm trying to give me some big knocks, you know. It's like, you're not gonna really hear some turned up shit on it. So that's just kind of what it goes. Same thing like when me and Scud dropped our project Pressure. Like, you know, that was more lit. So, you know.
Yeah, and that would threw me off. Cause I remember like, when Pressure came out, and I just remember watching a lot of the videos and stuff. I was like, man, they're always turned. And then I remember like Breathe and Changes, and then, you know, I was like, okay, that kind of, you know, at least for as far as you go, everything kind of like slowed down a little bit. So, I mean, was that just like always your plan, or was it just like a transition, or you just want to show versatility? Like, what was?
Yeah, it's really just a versatility thing. It's funny because, like I said, that's another consequence of me like hoarding music, like I've done. You know, it's just like. Because I could see why people, you know, if people just, you know, started tapping into us for Pressure, you know, that'd just be like, okay, so Scud like lit, like that's just what they do. But really the whole thing is like, like I said, like some of these songs are old. Like a lot of these songs you hear on like are old. So it's like we've been did them. So to me, it's just like, no, I've been on that. I've always been on that. That's what I do. Like, one day I might record like a real turnt song, like Kick Rocks, just over a trap beat where we're just going crazy. Then I might do a song like What They Talking About, which is just bars, 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 But then I might switch it up. And do a song like Changes, which is more like punk pop, like, it's a completely different genre. Like, I've got songs in the stash right now that are kind of pop. I've got songs that are kind of like R&B, like I've got like old school style, like boom bap stuff, like in the stash, which we're about to start rolling some of that out pretty soon.
Okay. So, explain a little bit about, I think it was Oh Lord. I remember you was talking about that, it was a lot about depression and becoming an adult. And I think you said you was on a high or something when you wrote that song.
Yeah, well, the song Oh Lord, it's the second song on the project. It's it's a very personal song to me. It's like, it's really one of the darkest songs I've ever written. Like it's one of those songs that like I feel awkward when I sit in a room and like play it for somebody.
Okay.
Just because like I'm just so vulnerable on that track. And it's like I'm talking about, these feelings I have where I might be like really depressed or just really feeling down and out, like the song's about like the loss of innocence very much. Like, I lost my grandmother a couple years ago. Then I lost my great grandmother a year before her. So like one of the lines in the song is like, the passing of my grandma, it is seared in my brain because I feel it was with her that all my pureness remained. Which it's kind of like, I kind of identify my childhood with them. So like when they're gone, it's just kind of another reminder of like, damn, like those childhood days are over. And what inspired the song was just one day I did some wax. I just hit this wax for this bong, so I got like super fucking high. And I guess my tolerance just wasn't up there or whatever, but it was just a really bad high, man. I just started tweaking out, just having these irrational thoughts, getting like super paranoid. I started thinking about heaven and hell and God and the devil and just all types of crazy shit. So all those thoughts that I had in that really dark moment just kind of came out in that song. When I went and wrote the song later, it was very cathartic. I just kind of let it all out into that song, Oh Lord. And that's what we had today. And weirdly enough, like it's like the first song I've like put out with like no profanity.
Really? So no profanity.
Yeah, which it wasn't necessarily intentional. That's just how it ended up.
How it ended up.
Sometimes which happens with a couple songs I got. It's like I always just write what I feel. So that's just what came out for that song.
And so like is your formula as far as like when you're making music, is it always like you always seeking inspiration, or is it like, is it typical for you to smoke something or hit something and and like your brain just generates?
I do most of my music sober, honestly.
Really?
Like I'm sober most of the time when I write. Like I wasn't even smoking for like a year. Like I just like for a year I was like not smoking at all. Because I've just found, and I rap. I mean, I even rap about it in the song. I was like, I tried to quell anxiety via inebriation just to find it makes my worries more intense when I'm high. So it's best that all my burdens be dispensed in my rhymes. Because like there's times, like there's been other situations like that where I got too high and then like just start tweaking. It's just like sometimes when I get too high, like, a lot of people, it just mellows them out. But it doesn't really always do that with me. Like sometimes I just get paranoid and like it's not always a pleasant experience. So that's why I kind of just stopped smoking altogether for like a year. Although recently I've started hitting the blunt a little more recently, the past few months, but it's more so in moderation. Like I'm not trying to get just stoned out of my mind. Which is ironic since I'm in Scud life, but it is what it is,
So I mean, when would you say you first started smoking? Like
I first started smoking like in high school. It was in high
Okay.
school. It was like my senior year of high school. I was like probably 18 at the time. You know, my boy John Connor, who that been like my lifelong friend. Like that had been my buddy since like kindergarten, or like first grade type shit. We just skipped class one day. I went to chill somewhere, and then they were passing around a joint, so I just said, fuck it, hit it. You know, I figured I'd just try it out. You know, I didn't get high, like, because there was like 8 motherfuckers in a circle passing around one joint, so it's just like, it's whatever. But, so then I got more into it. Like, I used to smoke a lot. Like, I used to smoke, like, a lot. I want to say probably around, like, 2015. Like, I used to, like, be on fire.
Yeah.
Like,
You said be on fire.
So I definitely slowed down more recently.
All right. So what's next for, you know what I'm saying, Prodi Lemaj? Like, I know you said you and Scud Taylor got another project coming out, right?
Yeah, me and my boy Scud Taylor and my boy Kudos, you know, we got a project, and my boy Bill Christmas, you know, he's a beat maker.
Okay.
So we've got a more boom bap style project that we're gonna drop sometime soon. You know, I'm still promoting Breathe right now.
Yeah.
So you feel me, but another project with Scud and my boy Kudos that's definitely on the way. And I've got some more music too. I'm planning to drop out. I'm trying to be less of a hoarder. Hoarder. Start getting more music out now. So
you're not gonna hold this project for a few years?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I mean, honestly, we've been working on it for like a year, to be real.
Yeah.
But you know, just the thing, it's a lot to go into this music shit. You know, people don't realize. You know, it's like, especially if you want to do a real rollout. You know, you gotta pay for studio time, you gotta pay for beats, music videos, you know, flyers, you know, ads, you know, just a lot to go into this shit. That's why I say, like, if you really want to do music, you gotta really be about that shit, you know, it's like you gotta invest, like you gotta put some money behind that shit, you gotta put some time behind that shit.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize like the amount of, you know, money that goes into, you know, if you just think about one song, right, you know, if you're starting off on a video, you're probably paying anywhere between $300 to $400, maybe $500, and then by the time you pay for recording, you know, anywhere from at least 20 to maybe, you know, some people charging $50 an hour. So, you know, it's very easily for you to be $600 invested just in one song alone, then artwork and marketing and stuff like that, and it really tallies up. Like when you really start looking at it, like I be telling you, like it really starts tallying up, like slowly but surely.
Which is part of the reason, you know, why I was hoarding this. So say I want to do a project like this, well, you know, you gotta make sure all the beats is paid for. You know, you gotta make sure you can pay for the ads. You gotta shoot a video. You gotta do this, get some cover art. You gotta do this and that. So it all takes time, especially if you want to roll it out smoothly. Yeah. It's like we've had situations in the past, like we'll throw out a song, and then it's like we wanted to throw out the like project, you know, not too long afterward, but then, you know, like we're like, oh, we got to get this done and we got to get that done, and then sometimes when you're uploading it to the DSPs, like Spotify and stuff, you can have issues with that, you know, and that's delayed us in the past, you know. So it's just a lot of stuff that comes up, you know. Like if you really want to roll out a project, or like I mean, you can just throw music out there, like, you know, I know some people like, man, I just want to drop like every day or just drop every week, just drop something. I'm like, it's like you can do that, but it's like, okay, think about it. What's the better thing to do, right? Is it better to just drop a new song every fucking week, right? Or is it better to just you know, you're spending money, I guess, to drop all these songs and whatnot, or is it better to just take all your money and put it behind like one song or one project, like Twitter, like TikTok, even TikTok now, like TikTok is like huge, you know, it's like, it's definitely which honestly the TikTok, you know, I guess that's how I'm kind of getting old, because it's like I'm not fully into the TikTok shit, but like it's definitely something I'm trying to tap into, just because like it's legit, like that's how like a lot of music gets discovered nowadays. You know, like going fucking viral on TikTok and shit. But yeah, it's important to do that. Like I submit to different playlists on Spotify and whatnot. I go on different music review shows. People might do music review shows online. I'll just go on them. We get little flyers. Like we had a bunch of little flyers with like a QR code. Like we left them about time, and we leave them around.
Yeah, I
different
remember
places.
seeing them. Yeah.
So it's just you gotta get out there, man. You gotta get your music out there.
No, y'all marketing is definitely there. So we got the project with you and Scud Taylor, Joe coming out. I got a name for that?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I don't know if I should say it yet though.
All right. I ain't gonna make you.
I don't want to get mad at me.
No, I ain't gonna make you say it. But so we got that project coming. Anything else coming that what I'm saying we should know about? Any other projects? Anything special? Any features? Anything you eyeing to possibly get 2022?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've definitely got some other projects in mind. I definitely got another big solo project that I'm planning. And also me and Scud. I definitely want us to drop like some bangers, for the summer. Cause like I said, I've been on this more conscious shit. I've been on this more conscious shit recently, but that I can still drop some bangers though. So like probably for the summertime, I definitely would like to, for me and Scud, drop some more bangers on them. Get shit turned up.
Some more turnt stuff. Yeah. I'm definitely excited to see what y'all bring this summer. Cause man, like I said, y'all old videos, like a lot of them, when y'all first, I was like, man, them things so turnt. But I mean, everything been solid, but I was like, it was just crazy, like seeing y'all turn and then slow it back down. I was like, man, so I know that time's probably coming. So, any shout outs, anybody you wanna, shout out or show love to?
I mean, definitely everybody that I've just mentioned, in this interview so far. Shout out my boy Scud Taylor, shout out my boy Skrill Peasy, shout out my boy Kudos, shout out my boy Bill Christmas on the beats, that boy fire. Shout out, shout out Midnight and Yami, he was on the EP. I'm definitely trying to work some more with him, and just shout out to all the local artists, man. Just shout out to all the people that support us, that fuck with us. Bless Uno, Datura, just all the local artists we fuck with, man. I appreciate y'all. All the people that show love, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Al too. Shout out to Valentine. He's definitely helped shape our sound and whatnot. And so I mean, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, Ricki. Man, what you're doing right now is great with the artists. You're really giving you're really helping like a lot of artists, giving them a platform to, just show off their shit. So, kudos to you.
All right, man. Prodi Lemaj, man. Thank you for joining us on The Culture.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
And now I'm 25, swear I was just 23, the age when no one likes you and you feel the world's your enemy. I've been feeling distant with the folks in my vicinity. I ain't really vibing with the energy they're sending me. Feel it isn't genuine, trying to form connections, but really the shit is strenuous. Forcing conversations with people who aren't interested. My passion overflows and there's a severely limited. Only come around when something is to the